Hey guys, welcome to the Valleycast. It's a beautiful Sunday morning. I can't see the outside world, and I haven't for days. No sunlight comes in here. I've got blackout curtains everywhere, and I started shampooing my hair with antibacterial
Uh,
soap
what's
because
your PJAR count up to?
there's bugs.
Don't feel like watching movies, so I'll watch people guess them instead. I don't know how it goes, I think it starts with your
Anyway, guys, welcome to the Valleycast. DJ, our pal DJ
Hello.
Wooldridge is here.
Oh my goodness!
From
Thank
Only
you for having
Stupid
me.
Answers.
That's the
And
one.
what else?
He's the one
Good.
secretly keeping SourceFed going behind the scenes.
But yeah, you guys have no idea
He
how
has the
many.
keys.
Yeah, we filmed so many videos. We'll post them one day. What has it been, like 5 years now?
Well, you know,
So
when
much content.
SourceFed started, before it
Uh-huh.
started, there was a hefty like test process
Yeah.
where a bunch of videos were shot and edited that never saw the light of day, as a matter of fact. So
Yeah.
maybe you are doing that, DJ. And if you
And-
don't cut us in on the deal, we're gonna get real scary real fast.
Who would I
You won't
even need?
believe it.
Who would I even talk to at this point if that were even a thing? Would it be like
Group
I think?
9 still.
Is
There's-
it, are they still around?
There's like a Milton at
Yeah.
Group 9 that might know someone that has
Someone.
the keys to the passwords or something.
Yeah, so I'm secretly still running SourceFed without anybody knowing about it. I also have this thing called gunplaymovie.com. If you go to Kickstarter,
More importantly,
yeah. Trying to make a movie over here with one of these
You.
boys.
DJ's
Wrong way.
making
Here
a
it
movie with,
is.
I guess I'm in this movie.
You're in this movie.
And yeah, I play a guy that if you will not see unless you help this man make this fucking movie.
That's very true. That's accurate.
So how
Yeah,
about
yeah.
that? How about
that's
that?
a good way to put it.
Yeah,
I like
that's-
that.
because it's true. It's funny
I
because
will-
it's true.
I was supposed to be a part of this project, but I couldn't because my silly wife. So
Yeah.
Why is she being so silly all the time?
What was silly?
she was
about it?
like, "Oh, she's like, well, give me a little attention. Give me a little. Let me go ahead and just take
care
this
of me.
rest several years. Me,
Yeah.
me, me.
Let
Yeah.
me make it about me for yeah, I get it. I
Oh.
know.
Wild.
Yeah.
YouTubers, man.
Yeah.
And
What are you
did
gonna
you
do?
tell her? Did you say, Grace,
Cool it.
you had your moment?
Yeah.
Did you
I said, oh,
say?
you got a lump? I'll show you a lump.
Hot as balls.
But anyway,
Anyway.
DJ's making a movie, and
Yeah,
you go to
yeah.
Gunplay movie.
Gunplaymovie.com. That is where you can find it. I believe I've been told by you gentlemen that once this goes up, my campaign will be live because it goes
Yeah,
live January
because
30th.
This is Wednesday.
Yes.
January
Yes.
30th is Wednesday. This will be public Wednesday.
Yeah. So
So-
this will be within the first 48 hours of the campaign. And these lovely boys have had me on for previous campaigns. And so you've probably heard me say before that first 48 hours is a big deal. So if you could get over there, this is technically 3 short films that connect into one larger story.
Cool.
So you can see the movies. There's also an incredible poster designed by Sean Peacock that'll be signed by the cast and crew. You can be in the movie. You can be a producer if you've always wanted to see your name on IMDb or on a poster.
Could someone be a grip?
You know what? I mean, like, listen, if you want to pay to be a grip, you're more than you're more than welcome to.
I love that human.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, if you're like, yes, let me pay you to grip your movie. I'm sure.
But you gotta be in the union, right? This is a union gig. Otherwise, I can't do it, DJ.
Okay. Well, then we'll have a conversation off air.
DJ, 3 short films
Yes.
culminating in one full story.
Yes.
Page count, stuff like that. What's the length of the films that you're going for? What's the overall length? What are you looking at right now?
Well, listen, Joe, I'm going to be honest with you because, you've been so great to me. The page count kind of depends on how well the campaign does. If I'm going to be,
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was just looking at the full script, by the way. I was doing a little push through on that. I was like, let me take a look here at page 55 for some reason.
Yeah. Why page 55? Yeah. So, movies are expensive, which is why we're crowdfunding it. We don't have a big studio. This isn't, not to throw any shade, but we're not like Zach Braff coming in here and we're like, hey,
Well,
this is
there
a
goes our
very-
guest for next week.
All right.
These
I'll let him
people are
know.
not going to want him on the show now after that bad mouthing.
You think
No,
Donald Faison will
DJ
still
did-
come on?
I
DJ
hope
brought you
Donald
up, yeah.
Faison- Donald Faison. Is Donald Faison still has that cool mole? Because if he doesn't, I don't want him around.
I don't know.
Well
if he
known
doesn't,
for the
I
mole.
want post. I want pre. I want more. Never mind. Go ahead.
But
Sorry.
yeah, the best. No,
Zach
but the
Braff was an interesting go-to. DJ, why did you go to Zach Braff? Why was he at the top of the?
Because he famously had a Kickstarter that did very
Oh,
well
okay.
because
I
he's a
see.
famous person.
Do you remember that, Elliot?
Nope.
He
Okay, not at all.
Dude, Zach motherfucking Braff, and we're talking Mr. Scrubs.
Yeah.
I prefer Mr. Garden State. Thank
I
you.
call him
Thank you
500
very
Days
much.
of Bummer. Oh wait, no, he wasn't that one. That
That wasn't in him.
No.
Whatever. Same indie darling bullshit.
Yep.
Anyways, what did
Wow.
he do?
He
love
did.
Braff.
Yeah, he did. He did.
So
a
he
Kickstarter
did a
several years
Kickstarter.
ago.
Yeah, and it was kind of interesting because it was like, don't you get paid for Scrubs
Yeah,
on the
and
daily?
and it did very well, and almost like immediately, it was like bought by Amazon or something. It's like
yeah, exactly.
And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just as
No.
a point of contrast. We got none of that. We don't have
Yeah.
any. There's not some secret back or whatever.
Well,
It's
you're not Zach
literally,
Braff.
Kickstarter or nothing for this bad
Right.
boy. So and it's the type of movie. I call it an existential crime thriller. So I've been
Like
using
that.
it as a point of reference, like if you're a fan of Good Time or Pulp Fiction or even something like Big Lebowski. That's
Heard of
kind
it.
of the milieu of the type of movies that influence this.
Dark thriller with a tinge of comedy.
Yeah, and
Like
kind of
Seven.
and a little bit of some surreal elements. So any Lynch fans out there,
I love that.
I
And
also am a Lynch fan. So
DJ, this isn't the first time you've talked about this movie on this show.
Oh, I mean, I've been trying
Right?
to.
Like,
I've been
haven't you?
trying-
Didn't we have you on specifically about this project, or was that
I
a
don't
different
know.
thing?
I think it was a different thing. I don't think it was
No.
about this,
Whoa.
but I have
You're
been.
just always grinding, dude.
Yeah, I've been working on this specific project over 10 years. I have like drafts in the script from like 2007 or something.
Wow.
And I was originally we were gearing up to do a campaign for a version of it in 2019. I had to postpone to early 2020. What could go wrong?
Yeah, what could go wrong?
And so we were filming some test footage for the campaign. Like we were on set filming and we were getting notifications like, hey, by the way, everything's shutting down. And it's like, oh, okay. So at the time, because we were ignorant Americans, it was like, okay, well, they're saying we're quarantined for 3 weeks. We'll do the quarantine thing. We'll do our part. And then we'll come back and finish this thing up. And so now 4 years later and 2 industry-wide strikes, here we are.
Yeah.
And since this is on the day, or at least it's public on the day of your campaign is launched,
Yeah.
it's very exciting. You can go to that website, gunplaymovie.com, and check it out. And I think there's a few other people that with names you might recognize in this project.
Yeah, fans of a little bit of overlap. If you're fans of the Valleyfolk, I'm sure you're fans of Whitney Moore and Bree Estrig. They're also
Heard of
in it.
them?
Yeah, they are also in it as well. A lot of because we all know, and a bunch of incredibly talented people went through the halls of SourceFed, and so I'm very lucky to be able to.
Thank you.
12
collaborate
years
with them.
ago it started.
Thank you
12
for
years
saying
ago.
that.
Are you kidding?
Like
me?
Joe
12 years
Rogan.
ago.
Joe
Is
Rogan
that
was
for
in there.
real? Yeah, Joe Rogan's in
Joe
there now.
Rogan
Yeah.
was in the halls.
Yeah, he was in the SourceFed hall. But yeah, so they're in there as well, along with a bunch of other really talented folk. Roxy Stryer, Darian Green,
We
Dana
love
Leyva,
Roxy.
Mina Tobias. I've been very fortunate because your first audience is your cast and crew when you hand them your script and you're like, hey, is this something? And so to have all these people be like, yeah, I'm into this, I'm down to do it, is really exciting. And so now step 2 is this Kickstarter and seeing if y'all at home are into this sort of thing. And I think you will be. I think you should give it a shot.
And it is
Yeah.
funny that it has launched now that this is aired.
Yeah.
So technically we are in the future, although we are
Mhm.
still in the past. Or how do you feel? Do you feel nervous, and are you scared and terrified?
But this moment, as we record this, it's prior to the campaign launching. I was telling Joe before we went on air, this is probably the hardest part. This is the moment where you're thinking about all the worst case scenarios. And it was one of those who let me do this? Why did somebody stop
Yeah.
me? Why?
But you just want to make a movie, and you're an artist. And as long as I've known you, dude, and for those of you that don't know, for some reason, DJ and I work together at SourceFed, and collaborated on a few things here and there.
Yep.
And you know, you're a super talented dude, and you've, as long as I've known you, you've wanted to like make a movie, make a show, make a comic, you just want to make. And I'm really proud of you that you've gotten to this point where it's like, fuck it, this is the way it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
You know, there's no nepotism here, and there's no
Nippletism?
there's no nippletism.
Nipplegism?
I mean, you know, if
nipple
somebody wants me to
nipplegasms.
add that, if you want me to add nippletism to it,
Is that one of the perks?
It's
Yeah.
a perk, and you
Could
know,
be.
it's hard to start from scratch if you're gonna make like a passion project. And I always have so much respect for that hustle because it's very hard. And you know, my friend Ralph, who we've had on the show, was like, fuck it, I want to make a movie, and he's making a movie, and they're doing well. And I, you know, maybe this show is a good luck charm. I don't know. I
We'll
don't
find out.
know.
Oh, it's like the Valleyfolk touch. It's kind of has echoes all throughout Hollywood.
That's what it's been called. That's what it's been called off the record.
That's
It
what
has been
people are
called.
saying.
We didn't name it that. Other
Yeah.
people did. And just okay. So here's what we're gonna do to ensure, DJ, that this works out as well as possible. We're gonna go ahead and manifest. So
Yes.
what you do when you manifest is you're gonna look into the flame that I'm about to hold up, and you're going to stare at it, and we're gonna let the flame go down. And as you're staring at it, I need you to say out loud, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe it's so successful," or even think bigger, tripled, quadrupled, Zach Braff numbers. You know,
I can't believe I have 2.5 million in the first day.
Don't interrupt the manifesting, Steve.
Sorry.
Okay, so I'm staring at the candle and I'm thinking, I'm saying,
Oh, it went out.
No!
It went out.
Oh, no.
Oh, that's never happened.
That has never
That
happened.
has never happened.
Oh, no.
Maybe it's reverse psychology, man. Maybe it'll be.
It is.
Yeah. Do you? I wonder.
Can we try one more? Can we get a do?
Hold on,
here,
hold on. So I can't believe how successful it is right
Yes,
now.
yes,
Yeah,
yes,
we made
yes,
it.
yes,
Okay,
yes.
good. We did it. We got
Elliot,
it.
this might
almost-
say something about the atmosphere in that room there.
You're slowly
What-
dying of asphyxiation.
There's no oxygen in that room.
That is gonna do a good job.
You're
DJ.
burning out the
Together.
last of it every time
All
you
right.
light that match.
DJ, going back, DJ.
Yeah.
Okay. 3 short films.
Yes.
Of course, biggest dreams, you get to make 3 full-on movies. But let's say, you got this, whatever you think is the realistic version of what's going to come out of this. How long do you think these movies will come out to? Because when you say short, some people are like, that's a 5-minute film, but others are like, it's a 45-minute film.
Yeah, that's a good question. I think they'll probably be around 15 to 20 minutes each.
Oh, yeah.
The goal is, because they all connect to one story. If the campaign does better, there's more components to this. We'd like to build out to a full feature. Is the goal. But money, movies cost money. And so it's, but they interconnect in such a specific way that I wanted to be able to film these at the same time. And I was really excited about the cast that we have involved. But it will be at least, the shorts themselves will be at least 15 to 20 minutes. And if the campaign does better, you'll get, might add some more shorts in there, might get it closer to a full feature length process. So get out there, tell your friends.
And do you see this going to festivals or anything like that? Is that the plan too?
Listen, I'd be lying if I said my dream wasn't to have a movie at Fantastic Fest.
I know, man.
Wouldn't that
It's
be
something
incredible?
Ever
So
since
cool.
that first Fantastic Fest, in the back of my mind, it's always been like a fuck. How cool would it be to premiere a movie there?
I'd love
Those
to.
fucking Rooster Teeth kids got to do it with that Laser Team movie.
Mhm. Yeah.
And that was like really cool, man. That was
So
cool.
that's a goal of mine.
Now, let's DJ. There's a couple things here. One is I was going through Instagram the other day and you popped up on it, and I was once again taken aback by the high level of quality of most things that you do.
Oh,
Like
thank you.
even the way this all looks.
Mm-hmm.
And my camera's broke twice since before we even started recording. And so you bring a certain level of quality to things. And I believe it also extends to the title. I would love for you to talk a little bit about how you came up with this title, because I think it's catchy, poppy, and really great.
Thank you for asking that, because the title for this has been a saga, because it seems like inevitably when I land on a title for this project, some like straight to Tubi movie will be like, hey, this is our title now. And it's like, I guess, am I changing it? So originally, I think originally it was Low Life. I thought I was super clever with that one. It's like, oh, low life, but also, low life. These people are broke.
Double entendre.
And I was not, shocker, I was not the first one to think about that. And so there's like a billion of them.
That's really good though.
And so then there was it's a crime thriller. There was a version of this that had a prostitute figured heavily into the story, and it takes place on Halloween. And so I titled it Trick. Again, double entendre.
Nice.
That was real good. And then like this like really Z-level slasher came out with the same name. And so I was like, all right. And then this version of the script doesn't have any prostitutes in it, or does it? You'll have to back to find out. But anyway, it didn't fit anymore. And so then I released the proof of concept footage we had. I released that as kind of a little standalone, like little mini micro short. And that was titled Broke Luck. And that one never really clicked with me. But what I wanted something, you look at the stuff that influences a comic that was hugely influential to me when writing this is called Stray Bullets. It's an indie book that I love a lot. And I love that title. And I was like, God, if I could just come up with something like that, like that. And like you think about something how Grand Theft Auto is kind of elemental, like it's baked into the cultural consciousness now, that kind of stuff. And so I wanted something like that. And I liked, I landed on Gunplay. I don't know how it's helping with the SEO, having gun in the title of something, but whatever, man. I had to pick the title I thought fit the movie. And so something that encapsulates a certain, because we're following a lot of different people and a lot of different stories and how they intersect. And a big part of crime films is kind of like that unexpected violence. And so something that talks to the crime thriller element, but also this is a lot of like people interacting like a play. And then I was originally going to do this campaign last summer, but postponed due to the strikes. And somehow between when we were going to do the campaign and now, there is like an action movie that went to Tubi called Gunplay. And I was like, you know what? Too late, everybody. This is the title of the movie.
Yeah, but isn't there like a billion?
2 words. Ours is 1 word. We're going.
There's like a billion same title movies out there. Like
I know. I think I'm too hung up about that. About wanting something that nobody else.
Do you know how many times I've watched a different Fellowship of the Ring? I mean, come on.
Well, to your point though, I rewatched Heat last night, and there's like a 1989 movie called Heat with like Tom Selleck or something that has
but can I say that the Fellowship of the Ring that's about boxing is my favorite.
Yes,
because that one actually, my dad said he loved Fellowship of the Ring, and I was like, what?
But it does not touch the Julia Stiles romantic comedy, which is
so good, so good.
Well, that's like comparing the Kirk Cameron and Nicolas Cage versions of Left Behind. Like, it's how do you pick one?
Apples and oranges, man. Like. All winners. All winners.
I think it's funny, DJ, you're bringing up Tubi. I was cracking up this morning because I keep seeing these commercials for Tubi, and they're so funny because it's just the weirdest assortment of movies. And it'll be like, oh, remember this movie from the 80s? And then there's like, this is a documentary on climate change mixed with like a old Winnie the Pooh, the one with what is it? I was like, this is like, who watches this? Like, who watches these weird streaming services that everybody's trying to like pump out constantly? And it's like, I guess it works. They have commercials, and you're talking about it.
Yeah, I'm not dunking on them specifically. It's just one of those. It's like, just let me have my title, man. Just let me keep it.
Can I do? What do you know? What is the deal with Tubi? It's just like It's just like Netflix.
It's called. I believe they're called fast services. Free ad supported. T, whatever the T stands for.
And it's just like preloaded on TVs and preloaded on iPads and things like that.
Yeah, and so if you watch a movie on there, there'll be ads in there, which I refuse to do. Like it's sometimes I'll look up like, is this streaming somewhere? It's like it's on Tubi. It's like, I'm gonna rent it.
But Tubi is free, but you have to just watch like a million commercials.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like when you were watching TV as a kid, and like your
Yes.
favorite movie came on TV.
And I'm spoiled now. I can't.
I
go
know
back
we
to
are
that.
spoiled now. We don't want to do that anymore. But does that bring back a slight sense of nostalgia when you like are watching a movie and then it like cuts to a commercial break?
No, because I think the ad breaks are algorithmically
No.
decided on.
Joe,
So
you don't
it'll be like,
remember
nope.
those?
No.
Why not? Why not? Well, there wouldn't be a slight sense of like, oh, I remember when like I'd be watching
No.
fucking Indiana Jones and he's about to shoot the guy and it
The
fades
only-
to black and you're like,
Yeah.
whoa, what the fuck?
The only time it happens is when you watch like old reruns, syndicated or Netflix streams of like old sitcoms that are like it'll go to black, but then they'll repeat the last 3 lines when they come back.
Yeah, no, totally. If it was less like if I was watching an old VHS copy of a movie somebody recorded off TV and the old ads were still in there, that would make me nostalgic.
Right.
That should be the rule. That
Right.
only retro ads.
Yes.
Well, I'm
only
not
the
saying
old
like
ads.
I'm not saying like do ads make you feel like you're watching commercials like when you're on. I'm just saying like specifically when you watch like a modern movie and there's ads in it. Like, is there even a second of like, oh yeah, I remember when a movie would be like bothered by a commercial?
It's all just frustration, anger, and wanting to kill.
We just don't have patience
We've evolved
anymore.
past it. It's like, do you miss your prehensile tail? No, I
know.
don't.
Not
It's
really.
like you can't give us something and then you can't. Yeah, exactly.
Shit, I probably do miss my. That's a horrible.
Yeah,
I
the
do want my
prehensile tail is
tail.
a bad
And I
example
can
because
actually
like
have
maybe I
that
could
back.
grab things. Yeah.
I just read something about
cool.
how the chin is like only a human thing. Have you, Elliot? Have you read or heard about this at all?
I think we very often look through the same posts on Reddit, and so I think sometimes we learned. I saw the same thing.
You
I
saw
was
that?
like,
What did you gather
we're
from
going
that? You read about it?
read it, and I just kept scrolling. I said,
You weren't
No
interested.
thanks. I said I didn't even need to know that. I said, why are you filling my head with that? I didn't need it. But
Well,
I'm pretty sure I went to the zoo. I'm pretty sure I saw a couple chins.
Yeah, but the reason why it's interesting is because they're saying that like evolutionarily it's like not necessary. So like we might like start to evolve without chins.
Hell yeah. It's awesome.
Which is like that's the interesting part to me because it's like, okay, well then what did we evolutionarily need chins for originally? And I remember I was asking
to get
that
the babes because they love the chins.
Matt Robb said, "How else did people put the pillowcases on their pillows?"
Folding towels. Yeah.
But seriously, what could it have been? What do we need our chins for, boys?
You know what? You vamp. I'll Google it.
Okay, great, good.
Yeah. What do we evolve the chin for? Yes.
We'll come back to gunplay and we'll talk about that and shit. I don't want this to be just like an interview thing. I want to like have fun and then we'll come back to the show.
Totally.
And then we'll come back to promoting and then tease a stream that's happening on the Twitch channel on Wednesday.
So without going any deeper than when the first thing that pops up when you Google search, it says, a chin serves no real purpose that scientists have discovered. A theory is that our chins help us chew, but Pampush and Daegling, 2016, debunked that theory. Chins are not much help there. Chins also don't help with human speech, which is another theory that's been suggested, period. That was posted July 19th, 2023. Looks like the American Academy of Audiology.
But here's my question: isn't the chin just a component of our lower jaw? So I'm having trouble visualizing what a lower jaw sans chin would be.
Well, it would be like a lower jaw that just kind of like it just didn't have the protruding part.
No, I don't like it.
Can
just
I
so the
suggest
skin
a
flap
theory?
just goes straight down. No thanks.
I'd like to suggest a theory
Yeah.
because I am a bearded man. Can I suggest that maybe the chin was meant to maybe like grow a beard out at an angle that helped with like harsh weather conditions or something?
I mean,
Is
listen,
that
there's no way to
crazy?
check that. So, like, yeah,
Sure.
yes.
Well,
Okay.
we
Correct.
would have had because the hair would have been, already had genes that covered us in fur before we had the chin.
I guess that's
Chin
true.
gene.
That's true. And that was for the weather conditions for early humans or whatever.
I
Can I
just
tell
wanted
you-
to double
Moist.
check for us real quick.
Yeah,
it's too moist.
as I had to find out if monkeys have chins. And
Mhm.
it says, even though monkeys are primates, they do not have chins. In fact, no other animal than humans has a chin. A true chin, which humans have, is the bony part that juts out of the bottom of our face. It is specifically a lump of bone that protrudes forward from the lower jaw.
Mm.
Even our extinct relatives, Homo erectus, as well as chimpanzees and gorillas, do not have chins.
Huh.
Okay,
That's
Elliot,
wild
who
to
went
me.
to the zoo and saw many chins.
I didn't
Well,
say
take
they were
that.
in the cages. I said,
Yeah.
I just said they were there. Can I tell you something wild that I learned the other day? I
Yeah,
was
give it,
watching
baby.
a video on the lovely, uplifting topic of climate change,
Yeah.
and they
Also doesn't have a chin.
also doesn't have a
Yeah.
chin. They mentioned offhand.
we win again.
That, and this is, I'm probably going to sound super dumb. Everybody's going to be like, yeah, obviously. I didn't realize that apparently, if I'm getting the number correct, the space of time between the dinosaurs going extinct and humans, as we understand them, arriving is 10 million years.
It's real big. Yeah.
It's a real long stretch of time. And it just has me thinking about, and then on the flip side of that, the Cliff Notes version of some astrophysicists mapped out on the odds are with, they like algorithmically generated. What are the chances? When will we meet other sentient life? If it's out there, based on like fractions of light speed travel and stuff like that. And I want to say the number was, it's been a while since I read this. I want to say the number was 50 million years.
Oh man.
And so it's just one of those, just the scale of like this whole like culture we live in where it's like go fast and break things. It's like I feel like we're in a marathon, not a race, everybody. We need to calm
That's
down.
really interesting. They said that there is life, but if there's ever a contact or whatever, it'll happen in like millions and millions of years.
Yeah, and there's a lot of like math
Damn.
associated with that and
Yeah.
stuff like that. But
How does
it was
that
just
make
one
you
of
feel,
those.
Elliot?
I'm livid. I was
Gutted.
expecting any day now for
Yeah.
them to show up. If they do show up and they have chins, that'll be crazy.
That'll be wild.
You know why the movie Planet
It'll
of the
be the war
Apes-
of the chins.
You know
Mhm.
you know why the movie Planet of the Apes is so good? The 1968 film.
The
Charlton
sex
Heston.
scenes.
Yeah,
The sex scenes are very good, tasteful.
yeah.
The idea that like, because we're far enough away from it that we know what the big spoiler of Planet of the Apes is. But it's crazy to think about the idea of dinosaurs being like 10. What did you say? 10 million.
10 million years ago.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah.
We did
our
not
Earth-
share Earth ever.
No.
So our Earth was 10 million. Had dinosaurs 10 million years ago, and Planet of the Apes surmises that the spaceship that it was stuck in space forever and then landed back on Earth found that Earth had been destroyed by like nuclear war, and then the latest evolution of being is the ape.
Yeah.
That can like talk and have cities and stuff. I think that's brilliant for a thing that was written in like 1950 or 1940 or whatever.
Yeah. Do you think we'll ever loop, because we got a new Planet of the Apes coming out this year? Do you
Yeah.
think that we're going to loop back eventually to like just a remake of that original movie?
I really hope so, because I know we already have been confirmed that it's an alternate timeline from the original.
The Mark
film.
Wahlberg one wasn't a remake?
The Mark Wahlberg was a remake of the original, but
Yeah.
that one is its own thing. Like, that one is like garbage trash. We don't talk about that movie.
So you're just saying it doesn't count.
That movie doesn't exist.
Yeah.
That movie is a Mandela effect in your brain, Joe, that you keep bringing
Shit.
up and no one
Again.
else knows about.
Damn it.
But
It is the one thing everybody knows about Joe is that he loves bringing up.
Joe
Tim
loves bringing up
Burton,
this
Planet of
fucking
the
Tim
Apes.
Burton
I
Planet of the
swear to
Apes.
God it existed. I'm not
Shut
crazy,
up.
right? It existed,
Yeah,
right?
right. Monkey Abraham Lincoln, get out of here.
Get outta here.
So anyway, the Planet of the new ones with the James Franco one started with Andy Serkis motion capturing the main character or whatever. It supposedly will be a cyclical series, kind of like how the original one is.
Yeah.
And in what would blow my fucking nerd mind.
Is if they deep fake Charlton Heston back into the,
Get out of here, DJ, you piece of shit. No, I don't want it. I don't want that. And in fact, I don't really like to think about Charlton Heston.
That's fair. That's fair.
Just overall.
Yeah.
But I would love it if this new series, because the new one comes out real soon, and I've heard there's a runtime of nearly 3 hours, which is bonkers.
Cool.
Sure, why not? Let's watch monkeys for 3 fucking hours, like a goddamn documentary. But what would blow my mind, because in the James Franco one, there's like a news broadcast that says like a ship
Mhm.
that was gonna explore space was like leaving Earth.
Yeah.
And so what would be really cool is at the end of this one, we get like 3 astronauts arriving
Yeah.
on the like future, way distant future Planet of the Apes. And then it like ends that way. And then we get like a Planet of the Apes remake in that universe as the next film.
I'd be into that. I'd be into
Oh,
that.
I want it. Please do it. Please do it.
I don't even know how far this one takes place post.
Well, I
last
know
movie.
it's supposed to be Caesar's son Cornelius. That's like the new king.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be like maybe 40 years or something.
Gotcha.
Could be more, huh?
Everything in the James Franco timeline of Planet of the Apes has been pretty good, right?
It's been good. It's
Like,
been good.
3 movies so far?
Yeah.
4? How many have there been?
There's 3.
There's 3,
Yeah.
and truly, it's kind of baffling.
It's
to
baffling.
me how good those movies are and how beloved the planet. Because on paper, the Planet of the Apes franchise shouldn't exist. Like it should be like that. Should have
Yeah.
been one
How
movie
dare
that we
you?
did.
How
And
dare
then-
you?
well, no, but it is they're
I know,
they're
I
beloved for a
know,
reason.
I know. Yeah.
It's
I
just
thought
like-
it was a Kickstarter by Zach Braff, honestly.
Yeah. Truthfully, they do well. They do well. I
They
think.
do well. People like them because they're like political commentary and they're like sci-fi with political commentary, and people love it. People love sci-fi with political commentary. Give it
Elliot,
to me.
who was your favorite Planet of the Apes character?
Oh, thank you for. I was waiting.
Yeah.
Can
you
you
had to
name
pick
one
one.
Planet of the Apes character?
Yeah.
And it can't be one we
Cornelius.
just mentioned.
Caesar,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aurelius, Arthur.
Yeah. Actually, if you keep trying, you might get one.
Yeah, if you keep hitting like classical, mythological,
Socrates?
whatever. Yeah,
no,
I mean, probably.
There's no Socrates. There's no
Oh.
Socrates. What about my
Herod?
remember my tattoo?
No.
My Planet of the Apes tattoo?
Jokes.
No, not that
Jokes.
one, you dummy. This one.
Oh, the one named Jokes.
This
yeah,
one.
the one. Yes.
This
Yeah.
one. Who's that?
Well, you didn't get the name tattooed.
I know, but he's
Johnny Five. Johnny Five.
That's
Johnny Five.
Doctor
Kevorkian.
Kevorkian.
Kevorkian. That's it. I saw him live in college.
What are we? What are you watching right now, DJ? That you really
Wait,
like?
hang on.
Go ahead.
The director of the new Planet of the Apes is the director of the Zelda.
Yeah,
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, is that
And who-
officially greenlit? I know they were like, we want to
It
make
is.
I think it is greenlit, yeah.
Yeah, live action
Cool.
Legend of Zelda movie.
We'll
Hey,
see
look,
though. Things
Look,
get
Nintendo
greenlit.
Studios is 1 for 1 so far, so we have to give them the benefit of the doubt.
That's how
Dude,
math works.
I heard a bonkers fucking thing that will explode the internet and real life if it happens. But apparently, the Universal Studios Hollywood, which is our Universal Studios, there's no room for like more Nintendo stuff because
Yeah.
they're
There's
using
no room for anything.
There's no
Yeah.
room for anything, and it's it's the same for our Disney park too. We just don't have room.
Are they going up?
And so the rumor is well, this is known, but the Simpsons IP is they're losing it in 2025.
Oh,
Yeah.
back over
Universal
to,
Studios.
to Disney. They own
Yeah, it would be
right?
Disney now. Yep.
So they're gonna lose. The idea is we're gonna lose the Simpsons land at Universal Studios, and they're gonna build a Pokemon land.
Okay.
I mean, that seems like a no-brainer.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah,
But if they do that, and it's just as good as Mario, as the Nintendo Land thing that they have, then Universal is seriously going to compete with Disneyland, I think, for like the first time.
yeah.
For a day.
I don't know, man.
People ain't going to be
They're
going
also-
back to Universal constantly like they do to
For
Disney. I'm sorry.
Pokemon shit? I
Fuck
mean,
no.
and it's cheaper than Disneyland?
No, sorry. Elliot, what were you going to say?
They're doing that also Fast and Furious roller coaster where they're building it around the stairs that
Those
What the fuck?
escalators, the 15-story
That's so
escalators.
That's
funny.
insanity.
yeah. So like when you're taking that like 5-minute ride down,
Yeah.
you're gonna be like, oh
Yeah.
Loud, horrible. fucking
Yeah.
roller
Furious is
coaster.
an IP.
crap, scared
Ugh.
of.
They're going to be dropping Coronas onto the
Wait.
escalator.
Yay! Okay, question for you guys, and then we'll get to DJ. What you watching today?
Yeah.
So let's imagine we're living in a world where Nintendo Studios pulls a Marvel and like they just like knock it out of the fucking park for like their first 10 movies and become a legit studio, yada yada. Because nobody expected Marvel to do what they did. Kind of
Right.
sucks now, but they
Yeah.
really fucking they changed the entertainment industry.
Totally.
Right? So let's say like the first 5-6 IPs they take and they turn into movies are just bangers. What do you think could turn into a banger? I have my answer right out of the gates.
Like
I'm
an
gonna say
unexpected banger,
just you
or
take an IP and you just turn it into a legitimately good movie that's set in that world, but is still good. Could be live
I
action, could be
mean,
animated.
Metroid would fucking.
Metro would be cool, but I'm
Metroid
going
would be-
Punch Out.
But Metroid would be like
Punch
Iron
Out?
Man.
I'm going Punch Out.
Yeah, Punch Out could be good, like a gritty, like, or you want it to
Grit-
be animated. They're gonna do kid stuff,
It could go either one.
but they'll only do kid stuff. Like
Sure.
Nintendo's not gonna do like adult.
You'd have to
Marvel stuff.
update some of the fighters in Punch. You'd have to some of
Maybe.
the fighters.
Are you
Maybe.
sure?
some of the fighters in Punch.
I'm going
you'd
Punch
have to
Out.
I've always been a big fan of Star Fox.
Mm.
I like Star
That
Fox.
would be a
64.
great animated one.
Yeah, I like
Space
Star
one?
Fox 64
Star
a
Fox,
lot.
yeah. Because if we're
Yeah.
thinking Pixar, because I'm thinking Nintendo could be a big studio, but I'm thinking in the way of Pixar, not
Yeah.
like in the way of Marvel. Like if they keep making animated, like their animated Zelda, even though the greenlit movie is live action,
live
right?
action, yeah, it is.
Which is kind of
Little scary.
Yeah, definitely.
Monopoly.
Uh-huh.
Beloved Nintendo
No,
game.
let's hear him out. Go ahead, Elliot.
Oh, is specifically Nintendo? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah.
Nintendo Monopoly.
Yeah.
Mario Monopoly. The
Mario
movie.
Monopoly.
Mariopoly. Well, yeah, I mean, if they stayed as an animated studio and we got like an animated Zelda, we got an animated Metroid, Mario Kart movie, F-Zero.
What if we gave the keys of Earthbound to like a J.J. Abrams or a Spielberg and make a Spielbergian
fuck.
take at
Yeah.
like kids with psychic powers taking on aliens? That'd be
Dude,
pretty
I
good.
still want to see kind of busting outside of that IP. I still want to see them do something with BioShock. And
Yeah.
John Carpenter talks about like loving BioShock and thinking it's like one of the greatest games ever.
Yeah.
And John Carpenter is one of the greatest horror movie directors of our time. Why is he not made a BioShock movie?
I think isn't John Carpenter on the record of being like, yeah, I just want to make music.
He just wants to play video games. Yeah. Good for
I
him.
don't blame. Yeah, man. On that vein, I just played the Dead Space remake.
Oh, I haven't
and that was
played
my-
any of those. I'm kind
that
of
was my-
scared.
Dude, for real, it actually is. It was actually pretty scary. But that was the remake was my first time playing Dead Space, and I'm like, oh, this would make a killer movie. This movie was so cool.
Yeah,
I
dude,
do. Yeah.
chopping people up at the angles.
It's great. Like it's really. I do have to like pace myself on the survival horror games, because it's just every once in a while you need a break. It's so once I did Dead Space, I think I eventually I played the RE4 remake, which I played that originally.
Oh man, what a
But like I took a
classic.
gap. I'm like, I'm not gonna go right from Dead Space into Resident Evil 4. I need to like do something, play a Mario game or something for a little bit.
So Fallout is gonna be a series.
The show.
Does anybody, Elliot, do you know what Fallout is at all, or do you care at all?
Fallout is about a nuclear fallout, and it was a popular video game in the late 90s and early aughts, specifically on the PCs.
And you've seen the trailer for this
No.
show? There's a show coming out.
Is it the one with what's his name? Walter Goggins?
Walton Goggins, yeah.
Walter Goggins.
Yes.
Walter
I,
White.
Mhm.
Man, yeah, it's so close how I get the names. It's not quite right. Monopoly, but it looks great.
Yeah, I'm stoked about that as some kind of IP that could be good video
Yeah.
game movie thing.
Well, Fallout's a good one too because, and I think they've said that this is the case where it takes place in the same universe as the games because each game takes place in a different part
Mhm.
of the world.
And we've
So you
never
can
seen
just
like
say-
LA or Vegas or anything like that. Or there was a Vegas, I thought.
Yeah, there's New Vegas, but we haven't
Mhm.
seen LA, and so they get to just be like, yeah, this is our.
That's
And
cool.
it'll be a good way to like, because who knows when we'll get Fallout 5, like maybe
I know.
2046 or something.
know.
Like, so this will help us tide us over until then.
All right, so what are we all watching right now that we'd like to share with our audience? Anybody watching anything kind of interesting right now?
I have opinions on Saltburn. If any of you
I haven't
guys
seen
watched
it yet. Go ahead.
I've seen Saltburn, Joe.
I mean, here's all I'll say about it. It's wonderfully made. The
Yeah.
acting is superb. I'll never watch it again.
Yeah,
Kind of
yeah.
gay, right? A
Did you-
little gay. That's all I've heard people say about that
Yeah.
movie. It's like it's a really gay movie.
Yeah. Did you get the whole family together for it, Joe? Like, I sit the kids down, like, hey, kids, we're watching Saltburn.
I watched it with
We're
my
gonna-
wife,
Yeah.
who would never really like knowingly step into a movie like that.
Yeah.
But we both really kind of went into it blind, and I just kept looking at her through it, and she was just kind of like,
Did she
Yeah.
like it at the end of the day?
I think she would probably say the same thing that I just said.
I liked it, but I'll never see it again.
I don't know if
Yeah.
she liked it. I appreciated it for what
Mhm.
it was, and
Mhm.
I couldn't believe it was a female director,
Yeah.
and I'll never watch it again.
Yeah.
Not a movie, but and we're a little removed from this, but I still can't stop thinking about it and my feelings of betrayal from The Curse.
Betrayal.
Is there
Did you not
betrayal?
Did you not like the finale, Steve?
Well, I took issue with the finale in a lot
Well-
of ways. If you guys want to talk about it a little bit.
I don't really want it to be spoiled per se, but if there's a way to talk about where
Oh, there is no
I
way to
don't
talk about
care.
it without being.
Well, I'm not
completely
gonna
spoiled,
watch it.
think.
I will
Then-
say this. When you guys were joking about the pressure in Elliot's house with the matches, it did make me think about
Wait,
the
Elliot,
Curse a little bit.
how far into it are you?
I think I made it like 3, maybe 4 episodes,
Okay,
and kind
yeah.
of fell out of it.
I need you to finish it, please, and
Yeah,
then because and Joe, you haven't watched any
I
of
haven't
it.
started it yet. Uh-uh.
Maybe give it a shot, and on the next show we could talk a little bit about it. But Elliot, I would love it if you'd watch the whole rest of it, and
Great.
because
Awesome.
I really would love your thoughts on that finale. Because can I say that really trying to tiptoe around it, around what it is, but it might be the most unique finale of any TV show I've ever seen.
I think that's fair. And I'll say this. There was a moment because the show banks hard on like cringe and like just some of the
Yeah.
worst people. And so there was a point like near the back half of the middle where I was like, like Joe was saying with Saltburn, I really appreciate what we're doing.
Yeah,
I'm having trouble getting through
but
it.
do we
That's
know-
why I didn't
Yeah.
finish
Yeah.
the rehearsal. I could,
Yeah.
That's what it was for that's why I fell out of the curse. I was like, this
Yeah.
is what they're doing is it's brilliant and I respect it, and I'll watch something else for a little
Yeah,
bit.
but I'm
not watch it ever again.
I end up being very glad that I pushed through. to
Okay,
the
but see,
finale.
I
Yeah.
feel it's
Steve's on the other
different.
side.
I feel different.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
feel
two
like
sides of one coin, huh?
Yeah.
I feel like they really like they. I have always felt really connected to the work of Nathan Fielder.
Yeah.
Because it's very like
Against the grain.
yeah, and
Mhm.
strange and Kaufman-esque, and there's some Dada in there for sure. And I think that there's like it's just absurd comedy and I've always loved it. And I always feel like when you get on board with a Nathan Fielder project, you know what you're in for. And if you like have been following his career, you're kind of along for the ride and you know where he's going and he's kind of taking you with him. And I
Yeah.
feel like at the end of this show, he's kind of like, no, I'm not taking you with me anymore. You get to do whatever you want with this now. And it's not,
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you, you're not in on this one. This is for me and for Benny Safdie, and everybody
Yeah.
else can just have fun with whatever. But it felt like getting through the show, and then the finale wasn't a reward for all of the work you had to put in to like handle the cringe and like.
I felt that to me it did feel like a reward, but
Okay,
I am
all right.
into that.
I
sort
love
of,
that.
sort of thing. But
Sure. Me too,
I
man.
also,
I usually
also
am
don't want
too.
to spoil it.
I
also don't
will
wanna
just
spoil
say
it, so.
this. If you're gonna go into like a surrealist, like hard surrealism,
Mhm.
at least give us a little bit of it before you go fully into it.
All right.
And
I really want
that's
to
as
continue
far
this
as I wanna
conversation with you,
say
but I
about
don't
it,
want to
yeah.
spoil anything, so I'll bite my tongue.
All right. So anyway, that was mine. Anybody else? DJ, Elliot? What are you watching?
What's everybody?
Or what have you watched that you want to share?
Well, I'll go. I just watched there's this new, I was just talking about this on my show. There's this new German action film on Netflix called 60 Minutes.
Ooh.
That it's basically just like a classic, like, guy needs to get from point A to point B in 60 minutes. And he has to kick so many people in the face to get there. But basically, like, just to give you a sense of the tone, we're following an MMA fighter, and he's literally like about to enter the ring. Like and we've established this is one of the biggest fights of his career, that sort of thing. And as he's about to step into the ring, he gets a call from his baby mama, and she's like, if you don't show up to your daughter's birthday by 6 p.m., I'm going to take full custody. And so he bails on the fight immediately. And this somehow launches him into the German underworld, and he needs to like
he can't not
like
fight.
the criminal. Well, because people have placed bets on the fight, and so they were counting on him to fight, and so now everybody wants to get him back for the fight.
Love it.
And it's just a mechanism to watch this guy just beat the shit out of so many people, I love it too. It was a blast. I highly recommend it.
Does it have is it like a tinge of comedy in there?
Not, I wouldn't say like straight up comedy, but it doesn't take itself like it feels like it has a good grasp on its tone, like to the degree that like they established that because his daughter's waiting for him, he said he was going to bring a cake. She hasn't eaten all day in anticipation of the cake. So then him getting the cake becomes like this totemic quest.
This sounds like shoot 'em up to me. And if it's like shoot 'em up, I'm so happy.
I don't know that it's as quite the same tone as shooting up with like the Bugs Bunny carrot bit. You know what I mean? But it is intentionally like ridiculous feels like the wrong thing to say, but I think you get where I'm going.
It's like
with
over the top.
Yeah. And it's just like, again, it's just an excuse to like every feeling that a character has is the biggest feeling. And it's just an excuse to, and the choreography is really cool. It's interesting to see. They've been doing this more with action movies, but to see them really incorporate MMA style fighting into action sequences. And at one point, like he's got a whole like a gym, like with other people he trains with. So it's not just this one guy, like his trainer, she gets involved in the fights too. Cool. It's a blast, and it's like short. I think it's like an hour 20 maybe.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah.
Did you guys hear about that beekeeper movie? That like you guys? Yeah. I really want to see it. Has anybody seen it? DJ, did you see it?
I'll stream it. I'll wait. I'm a Jason Statham fan, but I'll stream it.
That one looks like a go to the movie theater with a popcorn and get ready to like laugh and lose your mind at how stupid it is. Because it's basically John Wick, but it's like he's a beekeeper.
Did you guys see the trailer for the new Dev Patel movie, Monkey Man?
No, yeah. I see it's coming, but I'm not going to watch the trailer.
It's John Wick with Dev Patel. It's crazy.
Cool.
It feels like some Dev Patel like went around Hollywood and was like, "Can I get my own John Wick?" And everybody said no, and he's like, "Well, fine, I'll just make it myself." Then.
I love that.
And because if you told me like Dev Patel John Wick, I'm like, "What are we doing?" But then watching the trailer, I'm like, "I'm into this. I'm here. I watch this movie."
He is catering and like creating his own like second like part of his career. It's crazy.
Yeah. Also, great title. Really great title.
Yeah. And I saw a headline that was like, Dev Patel makes a case for him being the next Bond. I'm like, no, I feel like Dev Patel's making a case he doesn't even need Bond.
No,
I got it, guys.
Yeah. Did you watch Green Knight a lot? I think I'm in the minority, but I really liked it.
I love Green Knight.
It's you have to be in a very specific mood, which is like, I got nothing else going on. It's 12 a.m. I'm just going to pop on
alone.
Green Knight. Yeah. Did you watch Sisu?
Yeah, loved Sisu.
Sisu's so cool.
Sisu, yeah, with that old man. That was pretty good. That was pretty good.
Sisu is like I think it's Scandinavian.
Yeah.
Flick where a gold panner is out in the middle of nowhere and he's old as hell, just panning for gold, and then Nazis come upon him and steal his gold, and then it's him versus Nazis until the end.
Perfect. Yeah, it's so great. Like I remember going through a phase being like, man, you want to watch good movies that are cool, that people like you, and then you hit a certain age, I guess, where you go, no, I want them to beat people up.
Right,
I want there to be explosions.
And I don't need to think today. I don't need to think today.
Well, and it
Yeah.
all comes down to, I think, like understanding what a movie's trying to do and how well it's executing what it is it's trying to do.
Right.
So it's something like
Nice.
Sisu, like it's it's taking everything to its most elemental level, like similar to John Wick. But I would say, one of the differences with John Wick is the narratively, it's like the most stripped down version of an action movie, but it elevates all of that to the highest level you could imagine.
I know.
Yeah,
I
so
really
it's
want to
just-
watch all of them all the way through. I've never seen. I saw like part of the fourth one, and I was like, "Oh, I love this," and then I
Yeah.
didn't.
I mean, they're all good in
fan
their
of all
own
four,
way.
yeah.
They're not like
Yeah.
perfect movies, but they're fun.
Do I need
action
to
movies.
see like the prior ones, or
Not
can I just
really.
jump in?
I don't think
You
so.
don't, but
You
I would
should,
recommend
though.
you do. I
Yeah,
would
you
recommend you
should.
do. I think my favorites are 2 and 4. Those are my favorites of them.
Oh, really? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
We've been
There's little
watching.
payoffs. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah.
No, after you, Joe.
No,
It's
I was
not-
just saying the reason you would go in order is just to get like little payoffs and understand the lore
I
a little bit more.
Yeah.
The True Detective, the new one. We've been watching.
Cool.
And that's kind of, and it's a little stressful because we're not horror scary people, but it's really nice. Jodie Foster seems a little upset throughout it. She's pretty angry.
Yeah?
I'm not sure what her deal is.
I'm not
Yeah.
used to an angry Jodie Foster. That's kind of cool.
She's usually pretty zany,
Yeah.
but she's very serious.
She's really good though. Like
She's really great.
killing it.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
she's
missed her. I
killing
was
it.
like, oh, as soon as I saw her in the trailer, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna watch every episode.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
rewatched season 1. My girlfriend hadn't seen it, so it
I
was
just
my
started
first
it too.
rewatch.
We started a rewatch because Grace hadn't seen it, and
Yeah.
I was like,
It
we
so
can do
holds
both.
up. It
I
holds
started
up.
my first watch.
Joe, how
I'm
deep in are you?
one episode and I'm sold. It's so good.
Dude,
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm so excited for you. It's like one of the most well acted, well written like mini series I've ever seen.
Yeah, I think I'm already like, oh, this isn't quite what I expected, so I'm happy so
Yeah.
far.
Yeah, I
how
think
deep
season 1's the top, still the top tier.
it is. It's the
Yeah.
bar. It's the
Yeah.
bar for sure. And Elliot, is Grace enjoying season 1? How deep in are you guys?
We only got like a little bit in, so I haven't gotten her to get through a whole episode yet. I want to do. We get like, oh, are we gonna get our wires crossed? But I think they're
Yeah,
different
doing them
enough
both
that
might be
it'll
an
be all right.
overload though. Like
Yeah.
you guys might be overloading the crime
The darkness.
darkness.
Too dark.
Well-
Too dark. Yep.
Yeah, I will say I feel like so far, I guess we're only 2 episodes into the new season. I will say I actually still think season 1 is darker.
Like overall, or
Yeah,
is that,
and I
yeah.
think maybe because, and one of my concerns with season 2, I don't know if anybody other than Elliot's been watching season 2. I
know
am
what season.
slightly concerned that it might actually be supernatural, which hasn't been something the true.
Oh, but they've always
detective
teased it. They've
They've
always like
teased
teetered
it.
on it.
teetered on it, but there's
Mm.
certain things happening this season where I'm like, I don't know how this could be happening unless it's magic.
Right.
Oh, that's
Uh,
interesting. I'm
There's
down with-
definitely a lot of hints of like, yeah, the indigenous, like the land and all that stuff. Like, yeah, there's some kind of spiritual thing going
Cool.
on. But
And-
I was trying to remember. We were talking about that too. 'Cause Grace was like, is this like, it's like supernatural, like sci-fi thing? And I was like, I don't think the original was, but yeah, I'm glad you confirmed, because I was like, I remember it being or thinking that it was going to be like that, and or some, thing, and then it's not.
What I've heard is, and I've only seen the first season and a couple episodes of the second, but from people that I know that like love the show as a whole, the idea is that there's kind of like a tease of supernatural potential or possibilities, which I always love. I'm a big fan of that. Why not? Give it to me, man. Reality's boring.
Quite,
This
quite
shit
the
happens
twist
in
for
real
that
life
series.
already.
Speaking of magic,
Yeah.
I watched something that you would only do as a grown man after you put the kids to bed.
Yeah.
The wife is asleep.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, you know what? I got work tomorrow. I don't want to fall asleep because that means work happens quicker. I'm gonna escape and I'm gonna watch something. And I watched Disney's Wish.
Yeah.
Oh.
And it is one of the biggest disappointing pieces of trash fire dog shit I have ever seen in my life.
That's
It is-
crazy, Joe, because all
it
I've
is-
ever heard is that it's totally worth watching, and
It
their
is not
marketing
worth
ruined
watching.
the movie.
And the marketing, they
Wow.
couldn't market it because you can't market it. It is the laziest
Dude, it
Disney
looked that
attempt
way.
I've seen in a long time. Animation, not good. Music, not memorable. Characters, I couldn't tell you who they were. Was
Yeah.
there a comedic beat or two? Maybe. Not funny. It is so piss poor
Wow.
for something that was supposed to be the 100-year anniversary, celebrating 100 years of creation and magic. It is so fucking bad.
Wow.
Dude, what do you
Joe,
mean you can't remember a character? They've got the seven dwarf versions of the seven dwarfs in there.
Kinda.
And they
I
even
would
tell you like
love
this one's the happy one. I'm like, oh, okay.
It's so bad.
I would love to see you alone at night after midnight in your
Watching
apartment.
it.
Just infuriated. I can't remember. Not
Scene
funny.
after scene. Just getting
angrier
more
and
angry.
I love the concept of like, listen, the kids are finally to bed. Dad gets to watch what he wants
Yeah.
to watch.
I
Fuck
watched
it,
it
I'm
by
gonna
myself because my daughter knew better. She's like, that movie looks like shit. I'm not
Yeah.
watching it.
Can I
It's like,
just-
fine, I'll watch it by myself.
Can
Yep.
I ask something that is, I'm sure, a spoiler, but who gives a shit, and fuck that movie? Does it tries to like say that like all the classic Disney characters were born of this movie?
Yeah, it's like a multiverse type thing, isn't it? Like
No, it's a bad movie that might be like kind of a precursor to the existence of the old movies. Maybe it's an origin story for the mirror from Snow White. Maybe, but it's literally just they try to fill it with references to their old movies.
Yeah.
Old movies. So like maybe a Pinocchio, Snow White, Cinderella, like all of those other ones, but the references are so bad and so obvious and not clever, and the
Wow.
story itself you don't care about. You don't care
So they're
about
not
the
trying to build
characters.
a universe like a Disney cinematic universe.
It's
Even if it was bad, if they committed to that premise, it
Mhm.
would have been more interesting. But it's
Wow.
a much more half-hearted, like, hey, here's a character that looks like Tinkerbell. Does that excite you? I'm like, not really.
not really.
Why not use Tinkerbell?
Yeah.
the
Just have it
music
be
choices-
Tinkerbell.
The music choices are so odd and bad. Like the first big opening song is just about the town that you've never seen before, and they're just saying the name of the town over and over and over. Which you're
Yeah.
like, I've seen that before. No, you haven't. Belle was singing about Belle walking through a town. and
Yeah,
creating
she
a
was. It
world.
was character development.
This is just like, have you ever been to Spokane? Spokane.
Yeah.
It's like fucking so bad.
Damn.
I liked.
Am I giving
the-
it too much of a bad rap?
No, I don't think so. I was disappointed with it as well. I did like the concept behind the villain. The way they positioned, one, I like Chris Pine a lot, but two, the way they positioned him felt very relevant to today. Like kind of like, I'm doing something for me that I'm pretending is for you. Why aren't you all praising me more? And it's like I know that guy.
Yep. Yeah, I'll give you that.
Yeah.
I remember seeing people talking about that movie juxtaposed with the Adam Sandler one that came out, the Netflix animated Adam Sandler one where he plays the gecko or whatever, the lizard.
Oh, yeah.
Leo or
And-
something. Was that what it was called?
Yeah. And we watched that and it's wonderful. And it was all these people talking about like, yeah, how crazy is it that like this random Adam Sandler Netflix movie, which doesn't have a good reputation, people are like loving, and the Disney, big release of their celebratory 100 years, people are like, no, this is awful.
Wow.
What's happening? It's like up is down, left is right.
I
these
know,
days.
and Marvel sucks, and Star Wars sucks, and all this shit sucks, and it's like, what's going on?
I think independent movies are coming back, and we're getting gritty stories again. And thank God
Like
we have
Gunplay.
like
Give me
Netflix.
100 more
Ooh.
poor things over whatever Marvel's
circle.
coughing up.
Gunplay.
Yeah. So if you're bored of Marvel, here you go. I will say I feel like, and maybe this is giving a movie I love too much credit, but I do feel like Uncut Gems like awoke something in Adam Sandler that, like, I don't know if you saw his Netflix movie Hustle, where he plays,
also really
like,
good.
really good. Like, and so now
Wow.
I didn't even know he was in Leo, but it's like, well, maybe now I need to check it out because like his output post, I don't watch all Adam Sandler movies, but post Uncut Gems, like he's been turning out some like really good stuff.
Dude,
He's got a
no,
new one
he's
that's
always
like
been good.
he's got a one where he's like in space now
Yeah,
too. He's gonna be-
Spaceman.
yeah.
Have you
Space-
guys
is
seen
it-
the trailer for that? I think
Yeah.
it's Spaceman, right?
No, I have
don't know
not
what
seen the
it's called.
trailer for that.
Wait a minute, you haven't?
No.
Oh, hold on. Yeah, it's called Spaceman. Oh my God. I almost kind of want to watch it with you guys on this.
Have you guys seen that trailer for
Bring it
that
up now.
movie where they're in the space station and then the Earth goes into a nuclear war while they're in space?
Yeah, just a nightmare.
Looks so
Yeah.
fucking stupid and fun and awesome. I think it's
Oh,
called
'cause
International Space. It's called ISS.
It's Russians and Americans on the International Space Station,
Yeah.
and then nuclear war happens, and they're like,
And they're
one of us are going to take over this space station, and you
Yeah.
know the Russians are thinking that.
And the Russians and the Americans are fighting in the space station and fighting on Earth, and it's like, dude, but that vision of them looking out the window at Earth and being like, wow, Earth is so beautiful from this far away, and then you just see an explosion and you're like, oh fuck, that's crazy. Anyway, sorry, you want to watch the trailer for this on here? Kevin's
Let's
gonna
go
do
crazy.
this. What's it called, Joe? What's this movie called?
Spaceman. I'm really interested to see your guys' reaction to it, and we don't have to have it in the actual episode, but we can talk about it real quick, and then we'll go.
By
We're
the
gonna
way,
watch it all simultaneously, like turn our keys.
yeah, and hit play in 3. Just kidding. By the way, guys, I'm seeing Oppenheimer in 3D tomorrow. Finally,
Fun.
I didn't know they released that in 3D.
Sorry, not 3D, IMAX. My
I
bad.
was gonna say,
I was
you're
gonna
gonna see
say-
a lot of dialogue. In
Sorry, my
3D.
brain is trying to get this thing to share the trailer here too. Yeah, finally I'm seeing it in IMAX.
Yeah, I'm seeing it in. I'm going to see Oppenheimer in that 4D. You know where the chair moves around
Yeah,
and they like
4DX.
spray stuff in your face.
Yeah, 4DX. Let's do.
You guys are going there for one moment. You know that, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, the fucking nerds sold it out the first time, and I never got a chance. This is the first time a movie has ever come out that I haven't had the chance to see it because it's been sold out.
Oh,
Well, I think that's to Joe's point. Like when talking about like Oppenheimer and Barbie, and even something like John Wick and how well that did last year. It's like, hey, what if different things, man? What if we did other things?
I know. Let's try it. Why not?
I think
All right,
the
here we
tide is
go.
turning.
On
Let's
behalf
hope.
of the Eurospace program, 189 days
Is that Isabella
into
Rossellini?
your solo journey. Commander Prohatska, how are you feeling?
What I'm doing is for everyone back home, and that makes me very proud.
And your wife Lenka, of course. I'm sure she's looking forward to
It is Isabella Rossellini.
Good call, Steve.
Damn, I know that sexy voice
He's
anywhere.
not doing well. He misses his wife.
Then he shouldn't have left.
Oh,
shit.
Okay.
6 months in isolation. You stop thinking too much. I'm getting interference. I did not intend to frighten you, skinny human. Do not be
Whoa.
afraid. I'm losing my mind.
Oh my god. I hate it, but I love it.
You will know if I am real. I am like you, an explorer.
Paul Dano.
Your
Oh, and the room tone for the voiceover is wonderful.
Why are you here? I might be of help. I wish to assist you in your emotional distress.
Ew, I'm gonna jack you up.
But you do.
Ugh, creepy.
You go where I go, and I go where you go, right, Spaceman?
These are your thoughts. I am simply finding them with you. Everything that begins must end. I'm not allowing that.
You go where I go, and I go where you go.
I just want to come home.
Wow, that looks great.
I'll watch that. I'm in.
I was
Yeah.
like, what is this? Adam Sandler's Moon.
Yeah.
Then they got that fucking spider thing, and I'm in.
March 1. That's crazy. That's just around the corner.
Uh-huh.
I love that they're like you could recut that trailer into like a funny like she's like he's alone and he needs help, and then the spider thing is like I'm here to comfort you, and then it's like wow wow
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, like that moment it launches at him. It's like, ooh.
Yeah, it's all sexy and the music.
Like, this might be a case of like the trailer being far better than whatever the hell the movie's gonna be, but I am intrigued.
No,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
in,
yeah.
dude. That looks awesome. I completely missed the release date.
March 1st.
Okay,
March
that's
1st.
too
Yeah.
far away. I'm
I would
upset
love-
now, Joe.
I would love like it comes out like, why a spider, man? Oh, I guess I read your mind, and I think about these a lot, so I thought this was because I don't like them. I don't like
Yeah,
spiders.
why are you
Even
a
in space,
spider,
I'm worried
Nick?
about spiders.
Yeah, why are you comforted? Yeah, you're comforted by spiders.
Yeah.
I read your mind.
Giant spiders. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anywho,
I love that. That's so brilliant because it is such a creepy looking thing, but the voice is so comforting in a way. So it's like, ugh, it's like fucking.
and it's amazing how far reputation can go, right? Like DJ was saying, okay, I know I like Adam Sandler and dramatic stuff. I don't know what to expect, but I don't think I've ever been disappointed. And then you go, the director of Chernobyl.
I know, and you're like, shit. Here we go.
Yeah,
And Paul Dano.
And Paul
Exactly.
Dano.
Dano.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's when like the name come up, it's like, okay, whatever, director of Chernobyl. Oh,
I know. Then you're like, okay, I'll stop making fun of this for a second.
Oh, kickstarted by Zach Braff. All right.
don't say.
All right, DJ,
Yes.
please promote your film one last time and we'll say goodbye to these fine folks.
One last time. So if you guys want to head over to gunplaymovie.com, you can go over there it's on Kickstarter. You can go on Gunplay. You guys, it's 3 shorts to tell one story. You can just pick one of the shorts or you can get all 3 and get the complete thing. But each short
Get
is
all
also
3.
standalone. Get all 3. Come on. There's also these great prints that are done in the style of old VHS covers. There's a poster designed by Sean Peacock that'll be signed by the cast and crew. You can also be in the movie. You can be a producer on the movie and get your name in the IMDb and the credits. So just a lot of stuff where you can be a part of this process with us. We're going to keep you updated every step of the way. And that's one of the things I like about Kickstarter is it's not just it's less passive than if you just go to the theater and see a movie. You're going to be here on the ground floor with us as we put it together. And I think it'll be a really exciting process. So if you want to go on that journey with us, you can do that over at gunplaymovie.com. Or again, just go to Kickstarter, type in Gunplay. And this is the first 40 hours. So it's really important. So if you could get over there today and back it, we'd really appreciate it. And as always, I just want to thank you guys for having me on. I really appreciate it. This has been, what is this, the 4th Kickstarter you've let me come on and talk about? I really
to the
appreciate
point
it.
where I was like, you've promoted this one here already. And I'm like, shit, maybe not. Maybe it was something else.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's our pleasure having you here, DJ, because, we support artists and friends, and good luck to you on this Kickstarter. And I really hope that it gets completed to the point where people will be able to see me in your movie.
Yes.
Which would be really
absolutely.
cool. Yeah, please check that out, guys. We appreciate you. Joe, Elliot, anything else you guys want to say?
That's it. DJ, you're the
Thanks,
best, dude.
everybody.
No,
Thank
thank
you,
you
DJ.
guys. I really appreciate it.
Well, thank you guys so much. And thank you, Kevin, for taking care of the show. And we appreciate you patrons and you fans and everybody else. Have a good one. Bye-bye. We love you.
Stay